Hello, 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 everyone. Tracy Thomas here with Stellar Marketing and Business Solutions, and you are tuned in to another Stellar Marketing Pros live show. And we have a guest that I wanted to bring on today, but prior to us jumping on with that guest and with that interview, I just want to let you all know that we come on here weekly, but we have been jumping weeks. I'm going to be honest with you, our guests, which are our clients, as far as just getting the right timing. And at the same time, when I do these interviews with these clients, I want to be able to make sure that they are comfortable and that the interview is smooth flowing and that everybody has a good time. So that's what that's all about. But then also, I wanted to let you know that we are setting up to where we bring on our very own Stellar Marketing Pros team players. And we have an amazing lineup with some trainings and some just talking about marketing tips and strategies that's going to help. So when I've always mentioned in regards to the Stellar Marketing Pros, local marketing experts, those are experts within our team. Behind the scenes, I have been extremely crazy busy, good busy. And busy is building the team. Even with this pandemic, I must tell you, this business has still been flourishing, and I've been doing some amazing things behind the scene with local organizations and at the same time building my team. I wanted to definitely let you know next week, Wednesday, we'll be jumping on Stellar Marketing Pros Power Hour. So we'll come at you and we'll be sharing some marketing tips and strategies. And I just wanted to bring on, let me see if I can get him on, our most newest team player. Here we go, Steve.
Hey,
Hey.
how are you doing, Tracy?
Hi.
Good
Just
to
tell
see
everybody
you.
hello. I just wanted to introduce you. I told them that we're coming on next week, Wednesday,
Yep.
2 o'clock. We're going to stream
Yep.
live, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So I just wanted to introduce you, everybody. Steve Coughlin, and he is our content manager. He is over all the content. He works for content for our clients as well as our agency. And I am super, super happy to have him on board. So, Steve, are you ready for next week? What's the topic?
Yeah, we're going to talk about keeping small businesses relevant online. That's what
All
we're
right.
going to start with, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad to be part of this team. I just in the couple weeks of being here, I can see how innovative you are, and these videos are going to be very, very key and integral to what we're doing. And I'm looking forward to kicking it off next week.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. So thank you for jumping on and just introducing yourself. So everybody get familiar with this face. This guy will be on, and he is definitely going to be a face for the company and doing a lot of amazing things and behind the scenes alongside with me. So thanks again, Steve.
All right, have a good interview, and we'll talk
You
soon.
too. Thank you. So now, so that we can all get into this interview, for those that do not know me, my name is Tracy Thomas, and I'm the owner of Stellar Marketing and Business Solutions. I should have actually introduced myself first, but that's the thing. I'm always not even thinking about myself first. But I wanted to let you all know this stream that we bring every other week for our clients, Stellar Marketing Pros live show, is brought to you by Stellar Marketing and Business Solutions. That means it's powered by, it's sponsored by Stellar Marketing and Business Solutions. We are a full service digital marketing and creative design agency. We've been serving small business owners and nonprofit organizations for the last 5 years strong. So we're very, very proud of that. This past March, we celebrated 5 years. And again, like I said, I'm expanding, I'm growing, have some amazing team players as far as developers, coders, as well as writers, and now a content manager that is physically here in town that we could touch, speak to, and deal with on a day in and day out basis. So with that being said, today's guest is a stellar client. And this client is an amazing individual. She is a business owner, and she is the leader of a women's owned business organization, which we're going to talk about. So I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. Latoria Hillard, welcome to Stellar Marketing Pros live show.
Hi, Tracy. I'm so glad to be here.
Thank
Once
you.
again, my name is Latoria L. Hillard. I am a career factotum. meaning I have experience in multiple industries, but my passion, my real passion is creating systems for small businesses, helping them move from the 20th century into the 21st century by eliminating unnecessary processes. Recently, August 2020, I was elected the president of the Northern Palm Beach chapter of American Business Women's Association. What a year to be the president. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yes. And congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that, sister. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, I am a member, a proud member of ABWA. And for those that do not know, Latoria is an amazing individual, but not only that, she is our very first African-American president for the actual Northern chapter, as well as the actual Tri-County Council. So I'm very proud to know that and to just be a part. And I'm just happy to have you on here because I want people to understand and know what the organization is all about. But then at the same time, that amazing brain and behind the president that we now have with ABWA. So with that being said, for those that do not know what ABWA is all about, give them insight, let them know our mission and all that good stuff.
Sure, of course. So the mission of the American Business Women Association is to bring together business women of diverse occupations and to provide opportunities to help themselves and others grow personally, professionally, through leadership, education, network support, and national recognition. I know that sounds like a lot, but I embody the mission of ABWA because all of those things that was listed, I can say I have been, it has been contributed to me. I have grown in my personal development as well as my professional development. So right. I live that mission statement. And so I just know it is like clockwork.
Yes, yes. So with the history and how you got involved and tied in with ABWA, just explain that. Like, how long have you been involved in just that feeling when you came in to the organization?
So I've been a proud member of the Northern Palm Beach chapter for 3 years now, since 2017. The reason I joined ABWA, how I found out about it rather, was through Palm Beach Post. They have a section in the paper called The Socialites. It comes out every Wednesday, and I always look, what can I do? Because I like the social and network. And so they was having a fashion show one Saturday, and who doesn't like fashion, food, and networking? So I signed up for them. And when I saw these women, I tell you, they were sharp in their dress, in their character, in the way that they articulated. But they also made me feel welcome. I didn't feel out of place. I actually felt in place when I showed up for that fashion show. And after showing up for that fashion show, you know how you can have in your mind, like, oh, I got to get myself together. You know, before I can join, these women just feel like they have it going together. So I began to let my thoughts kind of take over instead of just moving into action and signing up. Once I did sign up, I realized we shared so much in common. We came from the same walk of life. We had the same struggles. I actually learned how to develop and grow my skill sets, skills that I didn't even know that I had. I was currently working at a job where I had reached the top of it. I couldn't go any further. I didn't know how to negotiate. I didn't know how to ask for promotion. I didn't know what else to do. So when I joined ABWA, it unlocked a whole other discovery. Yes.
Wow. And there are some amazing resources and certifications and trainings that's available to all us members. It's just a matter of us taking the initiative to go out and get it, you know. And that's why even with this year, I was like, okay, last year was my first year coming in, but this year I said the networking, it's a must, even through this pandemic. And let's talk about that. With you being the president, and I thank you for your package. I received your package. Yes, thank you for your package. Listen, Unstoppable. that was the first thing that hit me when I opened that package. Explain that and explain. And before you explain, I just want to let everybody know this is an interactive interview. And Tessie Watts, thank you so much, Tessie. Tessie is always a true listener, and she always interacts and engages, and we appreciate you, Tessie. And anybody and everybody else that has been sharing, that has been a part of this conversation with these lives that come on, we thank you. You got to understand, this is not about me. This is about these other small businesses that I am servicing and that I have been servicing. And I've allowed this pandemic to let me come off from behind the curtain and now highlight the businesses that I've been working so hard and behind the scenes with. And this is a platform that I'm using so that we can learn about what they do, their services, and all of that with these streams and the tools that we put in place. So with that being said, thank you for the shares. Thank you in advance for the likes. Thank you in advance for any of the questions that you guys may have for any of these guests and clients that have the services, and any of the questions that you may have. We can answer them here during this interview, as well as answering them after when you catch the replay. Okay, so sorry about that. I had to put that in there. So Unstoppable, that was the first thing that jumped out of this package that you gave me. And I was like, oh, that is so amazing. Just the write-up. You had me in tears. But then most importantly, I love these that came with it.
Yes.
Okay, you got to explain everything that was in this package.
Of course. So, what's going on now, everything is, we're doing it online. We can't meet in person anymore, but we can still have a personal touch. I still wanted to reach our chapter goals. So I thought, what can I do to reach out to my members to keep them engaged? So I came up with the package that I sent to you, which have the cool glasses, as well as the paperwork. And it explains being an unstoppable. This is going to be an unstoppable year for us. We have unstoppable vision, and we're an unstoppable team. Exactly what that means. So everybody knows 2020 going into it, that was supposed to be the year of a perfect vision. 2020.
Right.
Perfect vision. Well, our vision has been a little blurry, we can all say, but I didn't want my chapter to lose focus. And I'm not saying don't worry about what's going on, but I didn't want us to be consumed by what was going on. So the glasses represent, even though 2020 may look blurry now, we still can remain in focus and in style with our glasses, because we always have a unique style. We're not just wearing any type of glasses. Right. Style with our glasses. Also, what's in that package, I gave you a keychain, just a game controller. And the reason for the game controller, if you ever played any type of video game, you can design your character, kind of like an avatar. You can design it, make it your own. Social media have a lot of that. So I wanted us to remind ourselves that we are in control of ourselves. Right. And we hold the controls for our own self. Nobody else holds those controls. So our vision is, no matter what happens, we're going to stay focused and stay in control. Now, the next part of that package had candy in there. Of course, who doesn't love candy? But they all have a purpose. I mean, I put some Laffy Taffies in there because we still can laugh and talk to one another. It's not a time to be sad. I put a fireball in there because we all get a time to have a little fiery moment. But one fiery moment, that's why you get one fireball. I also put a ring in there because our chapter will shine and bling at the same time. I also put some gum in there that was extra because we can be extraordinary when we put our minds together. I also included in that package a grand of chocolate. It's called 100 grand. Now, I can't physically give you 100 grand, but I can physically give you some chocolate to remind you of that 100 grand. Whatever you're doing, whether it's your business, whether you have to work from home, whether you have to homeschool your kids, you can still get your 100 grand. So it was just a reminder that you can still obtain it. And then the last thing that I put in there was some hard, sweet candy, because we are all hard, and not in a hard way, but we can be sweet and creamy. hard as an outer shell, because we don't just want anybody to walk in and walk all over us, but we're yet sweet and creamy. And I just wanted to remind us of that as a chapter, so we can, pivot through this and make it an unstoppable year for our chapter.
So thoughtful. I mean, you put so much in behind that, and I could tell that you really took your time with it. And at the same time, it was just right on time, the messaging and everything, So again, thank you for that. And I want to also, I'm just let everybody know that ABWA, this is a all women's business association, and you will be surrounded by some very, very powerful women that accept you of all races. It's so diverse, and not just with race, but with businesses. I mean, you got doctors, you have lawyers, you have Mary Kay representatives such as yourself. You have women that are hairdressers. And at the first time that I visited, and I was invited by Loretta Remy. Shout out to Loretta. Hey
Loretta.
So Loretta invited me, and the first time I came, I was welcomed with open arms. And it just felt so good to be somewhere in an organization with women at that, because women, we could be horrible to each other. Horrible. But I'm telling you, when I was there, I was welcomed with open arms, and it's just like I have always been there, So that's why I feel comfortable. I'm happy. And yes, you're always going to get a renewal out of me. And yes, you're always going to get my 100% support, whatever it is that you need, because it is a true sisterhood. So if you guys aren't familiar with it, we'll be dropping the link, and we'll be able to share the information. If you're interested in becoming a member, you can connect with our president right here. You got questions, she can answer them. So we got a couple of responses here, a couple of comments. Amazing idea. That's Chantel Brown. Okay. We have Tessie Watts again. Creative with a great deal of care and thought. Yeah, she's talking about your package, girly. Love it. Donna, here goes Donna. We just talking about her today. Absolutely. Donna. Yes. So tell me, let's talk about the history, the story with ABWA, how it came about.
Yes. So after World War II, where women were sent out during World War II, women had to do the work that men couldn't do because they was off at war. So this time, instead of women being secretaries or stay-at-home moms working or homemakers, they got an opportunity to be the decision makers. They was the CEOs, they was managers, they ran the plants, they ran the companies. But the fellas, we now know what happened. The fellas came back home. And when they came back home, of course, they wanted their positions back. And that means they wanted the women to go back to their normal positions, being the homemakers or being a secretary. Well, the women had enjoyed that empowerment, being in those positions, and they didn't want to give those positions up. So the creator, the starter, the developer, the visionary of ABWA was a gentleman. Yes, that's right. A gentleman created this opportunity for us ladies. And his name was Hillard Buffton. He met with a group of ladies downtown Kansas City at a coffee shop. After I tell you this story, you would never think about a coffee shop the same way again. So they met at a coffee
shop. Kansas City, that's my home. Y'all already know. I want to see some hands. I want to see some stars in the comments. All my Kansas City family, all my Kansas. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
So they met in a coffee shop to discuss what we now know as ABWA, and he felt the need to create this organization for women to grow professionally, to get the skills that they need. And even the social time that they needed. Because think about it. Your husband gets off work. You didn't have time to go socialize because he wanted the food on the table, whatever it was. But he was trying to create an organization for women to get together to discuss business, to help develop one another, to grow together and have fun together.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
for me joining that, once I found out that it was created by a man for me, it just ignited me even more to want to say, I gotta be a part of this. And
Yeah.
then by being a part of it, I tell you, I sat in that company for so long, fearful, didn't know that I had all these gifts and talents that could move me to create my own. But
Right.
thankful for the women of ABWA that saw all the potentials in me and
Yes.
helped me. And one thing I wanted to add about ABWA, every chapter is their own little like nonprofit or business. You get to learn what it is to be on the executive board,
Mm-hmm.
to make decisions, to fundraise, to look over the budget, to plan events. So I'm learning to do all these things. And at the same time, it helped me and gave me that confidence that I needed to start my own business.
See?
Because of the skills of ABWA.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
It's kind of like playing house, but you're playing house on a corporate level.
Right, right. Oh my gosh, yes. And at the same time, how you've taken the skills and the skill sets that you've had from your career, and talk about your back history, your career. What's your degree, and how you think, and just yeah, we know. I know as far as
I have a degree in engineering, electronic engineering. So I'm a system thinker. So I'm always, no matter what kind of system it is, I'm trying to look at ways, how can we make the system better? Like right now, we all had to pivot to figure out how to make our job system better, our school system better, organizations better. And I'm loving this. And I know that sounds so funny because I get to use my system thinking to come up with better ways to connect with my members and future members that are coming.
Exactly. So leveraging a video interview just as such as we talked about, and connecting with the organization and being able to have our members comment and be in the place. Speaking of comments, we have Donna. She said, a great group of ladies, great organization. Yes, it is, Donna. Yes. And she says, love KCMO. Yes, I do too. I miss home. Wow. Yes. So, okay. So you're now a full-time business owner. Joining ABWA motivated, inspired you, giving you the tools to start your business and everything, which is super amazing. But what I want you to do is explain to the audience and those that are not familiar with ABWA just how the membership works, as far as them going in, them becoming a member, and the resources that are provided.
Yes. So I'm going to start with the resources that are provided. Our organization was the first organization to actually offer online courses, certifications that you can take to learn how to negotiate, to learn how to level up your skills, to get that inside a career promotion or advancement, or if you choose to venture out and start your own. Every piece of tool that you need is within our online classes, and that's just a portion. Right. Now, if you choose to go to our regional or national events, we have accredited colleges that teach master level courses, and you can get certification. We even offer, you get a graduation at our national conference. You get to walk across the stage and receive your certificate of completion, graduation. So, I mean, oh my gosh, we also offer scholarships to women, not just women in business, but maybe women that maybe haven't had a job, maybe that's a stay-at-home mom and now want to work, but maybe feel like she don't have the skill. We offer scholarships for that, for younger women.
Yes.
So we always fundraising for scholarships for our members and, like I said, students or college students or advance, somebody that's looking to advance within their own organization, or as well venture out into a career.
Right.
And as far as the membership, I haven't forgot.
Yep.
It's two ways. You can actually go on our web page and sign up. It's a little clicker, a button. It says join now. Once you click on that join now, it's going to ask you for your information. It's going to say, are you affiliated? Do you want to be affiliated with a certain chapter? That particular part, you want to say yes, because you want to be affiliated with the Northern Palm Beach chapter in Palm Beach Garden, Florida. So you want to make sure you check that box. After you check that box, you put all the necessary information that's related to you in that box. And someone will reach back out to you from Nationals to go ahead and solidify everything that needs to be done. Also, if you're not able to just connect that way through the website, you can also email our chapter locally. You can email us at abwa.npb@gmail.com. If you have any questions, maybe follow-up questions or concerns. Also, I just want to plug in if you're a student and you're seeking a scholarship, because we do scholarships once a year. We can get that information out, and if you win that scholarship, you can be what we call a student member. And that way you get to learn. And it's other programs as a chapter that we're trying to implement, especially with our younger girls that's coming up. Because I go back to that history and I think about Hillard Buffton when he was in that coffee shop. As he was making that plan with those other ladies, even though he didn't know us by name, but he knew it was much greater than him. Almost like Mary Kay at the same time when she created the Mary Kay business. She might not knew every woman name, but she knew that she had a plan that'll benefit every woman that joined and signed up. And that's the same with ABWA. If you join up, someone's going to walk alongside of you with what we call a mentor and mentor you in every area, whatever the skills that you're looking to obtain. If you're looking for like presentation status or how to speak or present, you can find it in ABWA.
Absolutely.
If you're looking to negotiate, if you're looking for equal pay within your company, you can find it in ABWA.
So I have another question up here. Tessie Watts, she's asking, how diverse is the organization?
Thank you, Tessie, for that question. We have chapters in all 50 states. What you're seeing with Northern Palm Beach is just a part of a bigger tree. We're just a little branch on a bigger tree. It's so, I mean, you can be recognized. Going back to that mission statement, recognition, that's what it means. Recognition on so many levels and so many, through national, you can be on the national board through your district. Even we have what we call the top businesswoman of the year. So you can be recognized through your local paper as well as on the national level. And it's so diverse, from women from all backgrounds, from all creeds, from all colors, from all ethnic backgrounds. We have women all over. And I'm sorry, not to leave the fellas out, we do have men that are a part of ABWA, and our chapter is recruiting men. So men, you're not excluded from this. We're including everyone. So anyone that wants to be a part of the American Businesswoman Association, as long as you're 18, you can sign up.
Very good. And I've dropped the link. Anybody that's interested as far as going and find out as far as how to join, as well as the email address has also been included in the comments, so that you can grab that email address if you have any questions for Miss Latoria. So
I just want to add, I'm sorry, Tracy,
go ahead. No,
while I'm thinking about it, we meet the second Wednesday of the month virtually. We have what we call networking at 6 o'clock. We can send that information out. Right now, it's free to join our monthly meetings. We're not charging anyone. So if you want a sneak peek of what we're doing, just kind of get a feel for it. Right. That's the thing about what's happening now with the Zoom. You can Zoom basically anywhere and be a part of any meeting. So we would love for you to come in virtually and see what's happening at the Northern Palm Beach ABWA Association.
Yeah, so y'all hear that? Definitely, that's networking opportunities right there. Free networking opportunities. You get in, you get a feel, you get to meet some of these amazing women that are on these Zoom calls, and just be welcome to come into a warm group of women, and that you can actually grow with as well. Your businesses grow with as well. So we have Dottie Smith. Oh, thank you, Tracy, for having Latoria. Oh, yes, you know I'm gonna have her on. You know I gotta represent.
Hey, Dottie.
You know I gotta represent Miss Dottie. So that is already, you know, and I look forward to actually bringing on some of our members and ladies, and you guys being able to meet some of these other sisters. And we call each other sisters, because that's what it's all about. We have to be there. We have to support each other. We have to, especially during these times right now. Yeah, we have another question, Tessie. There you go. We were just talking about this today. How many active members in your Palm Beach, North Palm Beach chapter? Go ahead.
So currently we have 17 members in our Northern Palm Beach chapter. This is a great time for me to talk about our best practice. So right now we're working towards best practice. And what best practice is first is recruiting, right? So we're trying to recruit more members to learn about the ABW opportunity. We also want to equip women with the necessary things that they need to grow, whether it's on their job, current job, even if it's in their home remotely, or if they just want to venture out and start something new. We also want to advocate on behalf of women's young ladies, young girls to middle-aged women, to all walks of life. We want to advocate for you. And the last thing that we want to do, we want to develop you in your skills, develop you in your talents, develop you in your business, develop you in your negotiation skill, in your ability to speak, to talk, to present. We want to develop you. And we actually do that. Every meeting we have once a month, we bring in a professional development person that helps us develop our skill sets, that helps us in areas that we may not be experts in, because we're not saying we're experts in everything.
Right.
That's why we have so much learning tools and resources on a local level, on a regional level, on a national level, on a district level. It's so much opportunity all over the place.
So I'm excited about the part with us talking about the presence and the social being that is the goal for best practices, just the social piece to ramp that up to the 150th degree.
And so right now, speaking on that, because we can't physically meet together, and we're doing a lot of Zooming, what I did as the president, I wanted to connect with my members. I wanted to know what their communication learning style was. And see, this was something I learned in a workshop while attending a regional event. So I developed and learned how to reach out and learn about people's communication style. So what I did was I reached out to our individual members to find out what was their communication style, whether it was email, whether it was snail mail, whether it was a phone call, whatever their style was. I wanted to meet them in that area, because this is a personal, going back to the mission statement, it says we want to help you grow personally as well as professionally. Not everybody coming in are looking to grow professionally, because we have retired women that come in, we have stay-at-home moms, and they just looking to network, be with around a great group of women. So we still want to help you in your personal growth. And so once I called everybody and found out their style, because like I said, everybody didn't want to Zoom, I found out, well, what is your talent? Like I have one young lady, she can't get on to Zoom, but she's very talented in creating programs and templates. So we use her for that benefit, where she still feels like I'm a part of doing something with the organization until we're able to meet back again in person.
So I hope that answered the question. Tessie had mentioned, that sounds like an amazing group. Yes. And Donna mentioned, yeah, it's a win-win situation. Becoming a member. Yes, it is. So you know what? I just was inspired by your campaign. Talk about that. That was the next. So rolls in with the next question, like your most memorable moment being a member. Let's talk about that.
So this past year, 2019, I got asked to run a campaign for District 1 to be a vice president for District 1. So ABWA is made up of several districts. I just happen to be in the #1 district of ABWA. And so you get to put on a whole campaign. It's a whole production. Ballots, you do speeches, you go to different locations giving your speeches, but the difference is it's a friendly campaign. We're all sisters in the end. It helps grow you in a leadership position. It helps stand you out. It gives you confidence that you didn't even know you had. So when I initially said yes, I really didn't know what I was saying yes to, but I'm so glad I said yes. I only had one campaign manager. She did it all. She was my campaign manager. She was my committee that was on call because this was a new for me. So we did everything together. We wrote together. We flew together. We stayed together. We campaigned together, and it grew our relationship even stronger because I learned so much about her. So in that campaign, what happens, just to give you a little synopsis, they give you like a topic, like a something to talk about. For instance, they may say, how can you keep District 1 #1? And then you campaign on it. You have to come up with your slogan. So my slogan was read. I was encouraging everybody to read. I wanted you to read in your chapter. And my colors was orange. And we had to campaign in 5 states, but multiple cities.
Wow.
And so I can tell you, I understand in a natural sense what the campaign people are going through now that's traveling all over the place.
Presidential, yep.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. But what I learned from that is that confidence is won through consistency. So you see, when I first gave that speech, as I'm speaking to you boldly now, I was like, oh. But after a while, the women, they didn't boo me. They didn't laugh. They kept encouraging me. They kept encouraging me. They kept saying, go forth, go forth. And because of that motivation, it made me go forth. And by the time I gave that speech on the last day on the campaign stage, I had became that speech. I had embodied that speech.
Wow.
I no longer needed the notes. I was just able to articulate that speech with flying colors. Now, I didn't go on to win the campaign, but what I did win was confidence, leadership skills, collaboration. I met so many women from all over the country, developed so many relationships that I would have never got if I never would have stepped out and said yes. So when you say yes to things, you have no idea what you're stepping into, because it pivoted me to where I am now, to be the president that I am now in such a time like this. Because I was able to experience that campaign, I'm able to be a better, prepared, a more innovative president than if I wouldn't have did it the first time.
Yes, Tessie. Yes, that is so true. Confidence is win through consistency. Love it. So, honestly, to tell you the truth, I mean, even just the stories that you tell and just your experience, I always get the chills. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I get the chills because I feel like I'm in your shoes at the same time. It took me confidence to have to understand getting in front of the camera. Sometimes it's like, oh my God, it's like, oh, I don't want to talk. I don't want to public speak. I hate public speaking. But I had to get confidence. I had to build that confidence. And at the same time, consistency, practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not the perfect speaker, but I'm working on it and I'm working towards it. And I have the tools and the resources, and thank God the sisters that are willing to take your hand and carry you and not teach you finances and not just teach you insurance and not just teach you, but the skills that's needed in order for you to be even more successful.
Yes,
You
it develops you
already coming in, but to be
yes.
even more successful and grow
yes.
even
yes.
more, you know. So,
That's so true.
it's just an amazing feeling. And like I said, it feels good. And I just be glad when everything opens up, because, you know, I'm a networking freak. You know, that was me. I love just coming and seeing people and meeting and I miss the embassy, you know.
Yes.
You know, the in-person networking. But at the same time, with this situation and this pandemic, this right here has opened a lot of our eyes to know we will not take that for granted anymore.
Yes, that is so true.
We will not take it for granted.
True. Yes.
Being amongst each other in person, we will not take that for granted anymore, right?
Right.
Yes. So that was, you actually answered as far as I wanted you to give us some words of encouragement. I love the confidence and the consistency that ties in. You want to piggyback and follow up on that as far as that, or are you good there? Because that was going to be my next question, because I wanted you to draw in some type of words of encouragement, because that's how we like to close out these talks in regards to having, you know, words of encouragement, any type of nuggets that you want to drop and share.
I can do that.
But confidence.
I just want to say, going back to the history of ABWA and going back to Hillary Buffton, and I think about the ladies that had the courage to go with him in this coffee shop to build this business plan. And now that we're in this pandemic now, so regardless of if you're not a part of ABWA, if you are doing your own venture, if you're a stay-at-home mom, if you're someone watching and you're thinking about just venturing out, doing something different, I just take a moment and think about those ladies that sat with Hillary Buffton in that coffee shop during a time where our world was changing, but they was there to make a change for the future that they didn't even know what was going to look like. We're now in that same moment. Technically, we're not at coffee shops, but now we're having coffee via Zoom.
Right.
And people are coming up with new strategy, innovative ways to pivot and not pause or panic. They're coming up with ways to say, how can we now do hybrid meetings? How can we now make our video meetings more memorable? I tell you one thing with Zoom, you get to be in Georgia, you can be in California, you can be in Nevada, all at the same time on the same day.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty. We have to look at the bright side of things. We have to take the bright side and think about the bright side of things, and how can we grow from there? But from there, how can we grow? Not worrying about what's behind us or what's already happened, but looking ahead and say, what can we do now? And so these videos and these Zooms give us an opportunity to meet people in a more intimate way. And what I mean by that, now we can peep inside people's homes just to see how they living. How, what makes them, why do they like that green plant, or why did they, now we get to, for me with my members, now I can see a side of them that I never got to see before. I can learn about them things that I never got to learn before. So now as we sit in our homes and some of us are working remotely, think about this. What can I learn from this? I hope you're still getting up. I hope you're still dressing up and sitting in front of your computer, whether you're doing virtual learning, remote learning, whether you're still going to a job. And even if you don't have a job, pick up a book, read. Encourage yourself, grow your mind. And I'm a sweet lover. I love sweets. So this analogy is related to sweets. Good cake tastes the same, whether it's decorated or not. You ever had a cake, you know the recipe down pat, but then you looked in the cabinet and realized, oh my gosh, I can't even make the frosting. But that don't even matter, because if it's a good cake, Think about a pound cake. A pound cake don't even have to have frosting.
Right.
If it's a good pound cake, it's a good cake. And that's the same with our situations. If you're in a good home, a good foundation, regardless if you got to stay in your home with your family right now, it's still a good home. It's what we make it.
Right.
And so that's what I would want to leave with you. Whatever you're doing right now, do it to the best of your ability. If you're on social media, get something out of it. Don't just be surfing around. Gain knowledge while you even looking at other people's pages. What can I do to better myself, to grow my mind?
Right.
Because it's all about growing our mind, because we're not going to be young forever. We are the now women that's sitting in the coffee shops trying to plan what is going to be for the young women that's coming up behind us. So we got to be mindful of that. It's not about just drinking and sipping this coffee. We got to know the system that I'm creating. I'm trying to create the system, the Amazon system of all systems.
Yes.
So one day businesses don't have to worry about, let me go to PayPal, let me go over here to QuickBooks, but they can do everything all in one system. So that's the plans we should be thinking about as we pivot from this newness, from this, how do we reimagine a new world that haven't even been created yet? You know how? By creating it. We have to be the ones that create it. We have to be the go-getters and go out and do what's necessary.
Get credit. Yep.
Yes.
Get creative with it. Get creative with it. We got another one more question in here. Other than annual dues, are there any other membership criteria?
Outside of annual dues, you have your annual dues with nationals, and then you have local dues with your chapter that you're with. But outside of that, right now, because we're Zooming, well, usually when we was meeting at the hotel, then you would have to pay for your meal, because we had a full course meal with dessert.
But the
thing about that, Tessa, that I wanted to add, if you went to like regionals or national events, or even on a tri-county level event, if you was building up your skills, if it was something to add to your skill set or your professional growth, guess what? You get reimbursed for learning. I mean, that's the brilliant thing about it. I have went to conferences, regional events, and learned so much. But at the same time, when I came back and shared with my chapter, I got reimbursed for my time and my effort and putting in that effort to learn what I needed to learn. So it's worth it. Who does that? Exactly. Who does that?
So real quick before we go, I wanted you to hit on, because I know the like our annual fundraiser. Just explain to them what the annual fundraiser is that we would do, and then at the same time what we're doing in place of that.
So once a year, we put on the best fashion show on this side of Palm Beach County. I mean, we have someone comes, the ladies professional come out and showcase clothes from the different vendors in Palm Beach County. We have beautiful baskets that our members help decorate and put together. And we invite all members from all over, and you don't have to be a member to attend. However, because of the pandemic, because we have it in March, we wasn't able to have it. So that didn't stop us. We paused. But then we thought, and we pivoted and said, you know what? We're going to take those baskets that we were going to sell anyway at the fashion show, because young ladies still are going to college. Women are still needing to further their education, and we still need to fund our education funding. So what we did was we took those raffle baskets, and our beautiful social committee actually go live online, and I can connect you to their page as well. And they show those baskets off, and they raffle them off. It starts off at like $2 a line. So it's based on lines, just like if you would have been at the fashion show, it would have been like an auction. So basically it's an auction style raffle that we do. And so far we have raised money. And so we pivoted. So we didn't panic. we pivoted and we're still raising the exact same money or even more if we would have had the fashion show.
Right.
So we looked for that bright spot and we found it. We got the basket so we can still move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna drop the link to the actual Facebook page as well. You guys go over, check out the page, see the activity, get familiar with the members, and definitely if you have any questions, just connect with Latoria here. She's here online. You guys, the replay, those that are watching the replay, we welcome you as well. Ask any type of questions that you may have. Drop them in the comments. We can always come back and answer those for you. So what's next? What's next, Latoria? I don't want to just close out. Tell us. What is next?
So what's next for our chapter? Like I said, we're pivoting and we're just finding ways to continue to stay connected. I was even thinking about doing video emailing to my members just to stay engaged with them, like go in different places around Palm Beach County and say I was in some other state or country, just to make an engagement. Many of our chapters all over the country, they're doing bingo night. They're doing wine tasting, games. I mean, so it's all types of things that are happening because everyone is trying to figure it out. And I'm just been trying to think, what can we do until we get back together? What can we do to make this experience engaging? And so one thing that I made sure that we continue to do, every time people get on, we make sure that we network as if we was in person.
Right.
That's something we continue. And then even before I close, we do what we call a gratitude moment. I said, I know we can't be together physically, but if we was in a circle, what would you be grateful for? And so I just try to keep those sentimental things, the things that drew us in the beginning, I try to keep them at the forefront. We still do member of the month. We do virtual pins. Instead of pinning someone physically, we can still do it virtually. I try to mail, like I said, the fun gifts off. I do the president letter just to keep everyone engaged. So I'm still, my mind is still going, figuring out what exactly what we can do to be different, and stand out, because we've been striving for a long time for best practices, and now I'm ready to be a best practice chapter. Like I envision all of us walking across that stage next year, picking up our trophy, and it'll be because we all did it. So yes.
We are claiming it.
Yes.
Claiming it. 2021 best practices.
Best practice. Yes.
So thank you for coming through today. I know that you're busy and everything, but I you know what I said, I have to get you on. I have to bring you on. I know that we're talking about recruitment is the biggest thing. And this is the time. This is the time for you all to definitely be connecting with businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, individuals that have like minds. That's the only way that you're going to be able to succeed. You have to connect and you have to surround yourself with like-minded individuals. And another thing, you want to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you.
Yes.
I always say that because you know what? You're going to learn from them. You know,
so true.
So, I know that I'm a super extra geeky individual. A lot of people, the tech, that's me. I love the tech. I love the digital piece as far as the connections and all of that. I'm not an engineer, but I'm a techie individual. And that alone right there, saying that, helps me know that I could come into a group of women and there's women there that understand me and they get it. But then there's some that are smarter than me and I can learn from them as well, and not be intimidated by it. That's why I say I was welcomed with open arms, and I look forward to the rest of this year and us moving into 2021. We got some amazing things that we're talking about, even moving forward with our actual social presence and communications, period, which is so important right now. So again, thank you so much for coming on. So happy to have you and to see you.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed this.
Yes.
This was so much fun. So much fun.
It was. And you guys, at the same time, I want to thank you again for joining us, and for those that just come on and always engage, always interact. Thank you. Yes, Donna, appreciate you. Yes, also. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome, Donna. That's what sisters do. That's what it's all about, and I finally found what I need is right as far as business, because I'm geared and I'm business focused, and that's what I need to be surrounded with. Business women,
Yes.
And at the same time, growth with
Yes.
presentation, with speaking, with negotiations, with best practices, with moving my business forward.
Yes.
I
just want to share one more thing. I'm sorry, if I can. When I initially started ABWA with my chapter, the first task that I was given was being a professional development chair.
Okay.
And with that task, my job was to go out and find the professional development speakers that we needed for our monthly meetings. So that developed the skills that I didn't have to know how to speak to someone, know how to email, and literally reach out to speakers and get them to come to our chapter. So just by doing that one piece, it propelled me to be in the leadership that I am into today. Because now I can just go out and say, oh, you do speaking engagement, and I can book them like that. But in the beginning, that was so intimidating to me.
Nope.
But because of my sisters that was right alongside me, they cheered me on every time. They was excited about every speaker that came on. So
love it.
It's that motivation. Yes.
That's what it's all about. Thank you, Tessie. Thank you. Great segment. Yes, absolutely, Donna. Yes. So you guys, again, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for the shares. In advance, my call to action is to always just make sure that you guys, so that you can catch these lives, make sure to follow us. We're on Facebook, Stellar Marketing and Business Solutions. We're on Instagram. That's Stellar_Business Pro. All you got to do is type in Stellar Marketing and Business Solutions throughout all these channels. And you guys just connect. We're looking at being able to be a platform to not only service our clients that we've been servicing, but at the same time, to also highlight and showcase them on our platform. So you'll see stuff that we're always constantly sharing, because this is not just our work, but this is our clients and the amazing stuff that they're doing. We're just so proud, so we're our clients' cheerleaders. So at the same time, you'll see a lot of content that's flowing from the clients that we're currently servicing and that we're working with. But then at the same time, this is my call to action, and I'm thanking you. And how you can support us is by sharing this live stream, by liking our page and commenting. That's all we ask. That's how you can support. And thank you in advance. And again, you guys, thank you for joining us tonight, and have a productive rest of the week. All right. Bye.